right, welcome out to the range. You know you haven't won a prize. Beautiful day out here in Western Oregon. I want to thank everybody that helped support this channel and the viewers for us getting the funds to purchase this Garmin chronograph. We're going to test it out first time today, see how it does. Another viewer sent us some buffalo bore ammunition, both in 45 auto and 10 millimeter, 2 different loadings in each one to do some testing on today. So we're going to get set up, we're going to shoot them through the chronograph, see if they measure out to what they say they do on the box, and then hopefully get some meat target shooting in for all those that have been missing that. To start off with, the 45ACP Plus P Outdoorsman, the box says 255 grain hard cast round flat nose, 925 feet per second. The other 45 auto we have is a 45 auto Plus P 230 grain full metal jacket flat nose. 10 millimeter, we have what they're calling the heavy 10 millimeter Outdoorsman. It's a 220 grain hard cast flat nose coming out at 1200 feet per second. And then the Dangerous Game heavy 10 millimeter 190 grain mono metal, says it's coming out at 1200 feet per second, and it's also a slight flat nose. So we'll get some firearms out, we'll do some testing on the chronograph, and we'll let you know what the results are. Okay, I got my earplugs in, got my Glock 21 45 auto loaded up with the full metal jacket 230 grain 45 ACP. Let's see what we can do with it. .949, 954, 'Didn't like that one. 960, 980. All right, let's crunch the numbers and we'll set it up for the next one. Same firearm. Now we're going to shoot the 45 auto Plus P Outdoorsman 255 grain hard cast flat nose. And it malfunctioned. .924.5 while we mess around with this. .924.5. Another malfunction, 930.6. Failed to feed again. It's not the weapon, by the way. We'll load up one more. Correction, 931.2. All right, we'll get the 10 millimeter out after we crunch these numbers, and we'll write it all down when we get done. All right, welcome back. Now we've got our Glock 20 10 millimeter loaded up with our Dangerous Game heavy 10 millimeter 190 grain mono metal full metal jacket rounds. Got our chronograph still set up. See what kind of velocity or speed, however you want to call it, out of this. 1155.9. 1154.6. 1144.5. 1122.9 and 1173.7. All right, so we'll get loaded up with the next one. We'll write these numbers down We'll get right back to you. All right, now we got our Glock 20 10mm set up with the heavy 10mm Outdoorsman 220 grain hard cast flat nose. See what kind of results we get with these. 1083.4. 1109.8. And those are smoky. 1082.3. 1100.5. 1089.2. I don't remember that much smoke out of a smokeless round in a long time. So let's look at the averages on these and we'll get back to you. So we've crunched numbers and here we go. For the 10mm with 190 grain, feet per second average was 1,150, and the foot-pounds of energy out of that was 553. For the 220 grain, we had 1,003 feet per second average with a 582 foot-pounds. Now, keep in mind that chronographs don't always agree with each other. Test barrels don't always agree with each other. So this is the results we got today with this weather on our range. For the 45 auto, with the 230 grain projectile, we got an average of 961 with a foot-pounds average of 453. I did this off camera for the foot-pounds using the new chronograph, and these are the results we got today. So for the last one, we had the 45 auto with a 255 grain projectile, a 928 feet per second average with a 487. So we're going to shoot the meat target here in a little bit, see how these bullets do, see what kind of penetration, what kind of damage they do. Keep in mind, we're just looking at these rounds. You can't really compare the 45 to the 10, only in that they're different bullet weights, etc. So the ammo we were sent, this is the results we got, and we're going to set up the meat targets, see what kind of results we get with the hard casts as far as the penetration and the damage, and the same with the full metal jacket stuff. So let's go. We got the meat target set up, and for those who haven't seen it before, the meat target is 4 layers of cloth front and back with couch leather skin underneath that, with pork steaks for pectorals, pork ribs with orange lung tissue, and pork ribs on the back of it, all backed up by the Fleece Bullet Stop high-tech version. The first thing we're going to shoot is the 45 ACP plus P 230 grain full metal jacket, and then we're doing the other 45 ACP Outdoorsman 255 grain hard cast. So let me go back to the 7-yard line and we'll do some shooting. Another malfunction. So we've got our meat target pulled apart, and believe it or not, we only captured 4 of the 8 bullets. We have 3 of the hard cast, 1 of the full metal jacket bullets. See if we can get you a close up of what those look like. So there you go. They were all caught in probably about the 40th layer of fleece. Where the bullets went through the ribs, this is the back ribs, they punched holes right through them, shattered the ribs that they hit. The orange lung tissue is just demolished. Okay. The bones they hit on the pectorals up front are shattered. Took chunks out of the ribs up front. Went through all that like it wasn't there. So if you're looking for a big game cartridge or medium-sized game cartridge that's going to penetrate, these full metal jacket ones, the hard cast ones and the full metal jacket, but you can't hunt with full metal jacket in Oregon at least, but the hard cast ones are going to do the job. Unfortunately, again, only shooting 4 of these, I ended up with another malfunction. So in the Glock, these do not seem to want to feed. They've stovepiped, they fail to eject, they fail to feed. So I can't say that these are most reliable rounds. They perform when they do go off, but they don't feed in the Glock at least. So we're going to reset the meat target, set up a new one, get the 10mm loaded up, see what kind of results we get with that. All right, we got the meat target reset. Same construction as last time. We got the Glock 20 10mm loaded up with the Buffalo Bore Dangerous Game Heavy 10mm 190 grain mono all metal jacket first. That's going to be followed by the heavy 10mm Outdoorsman 220 grain hard cast. So we're going to reset the camera real quick, go back to the 7-yard line, and see what kind of results we get with this one. Now the hard cast. All right, we'll get the meat target torn apart, see how we did. We got the meat target pulled apart. Where it hit the ribs, it shattered them, punched holes through them. I mean, it did a number on the ribs. I did not recover 1 bullet out of the 8. They all went through the fleece, as evident by the bungee cord getting destroyed in the back. Where it hit the pectorals on the front, big holes, through the bones, shattered that stuff up. Hit the ribs, again, through the ribs, nice holes. I'd love to tell you what the bullets look like, but I'm going to guess they look really similar to the 45 rounds we were able to capture. And that is that they just penetrate on through. So if you're hunting something heavy like hogs, or I don't know, bear up close, and you want a bone-breaking, heavy-duty round, the 10mm might be a little bit better over the 45. That's up for you to decide. But those bullets are going through, well, the meat target and the bones, and the fleece, so they're penetrating like they're supposed to. Let me get cleaned up. We'll do a little bit of wrap up on this, and we'll call it a day. So the meat results are what they are. Here's the results we got earlier off the chronograph with the feet per second and the foot-pounds of energy out of the various rounds. Remember, we had 2 different calibers and 4 different bullet configurations or rounds today. So we had the 190 grain 10mm and the 220 grain 10mm. We had the 230 grain 45 auto and the 255 grain 45 auto, all gave us slightly different. So we more or less compared the rounds or looked at the rounds to see what those rounds were going to give us versus each other. Through the meat target, the 45 auto, the few we were able to recover, the bullets were almost not deformed at all. I'm going to guess had we been able to recover any of the 10mm ones, we would have gotten the same results. So if you're out hunting for big boar or bear or something that's big and heavy boned, a hard cast bullet is probably what you want. Remember, you need to go out to the range, buy some of this ammo, go out to the range, train with it, know where it's going to hit out of your firearm, make sure it's going to function in your firearm. Like we had the Glock with the hard cast not function today, and I know that firearm, it functions with almost every other round I've ever put through it. Might just be that gun, might be something wrong with that ammo. I didn't have another 45 auto with me today to put that to the test. What you need to take away from this is, whether it's hunting or personal defense, you always need to train, get out to the range, and prepare for the worst conditions so you can have the best results.